my t-shirt. A lot of people don't get it, and they don't even know who that is on the street. I'm sure you guys do. Willpower. Some people don't even believe in willpower. I do. But I'm here to do the book snob, the Snob-O-Meter tag, right? I was tagged 3 times. Once by Pat at Book Chat with Pat. Second time by James at Quaint and Curious Volumes. Third time by Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads. They're all excellent. Please go watch them. But Greg's is off the chain. Funny. It's an original tag created by that reading guy. Links to all their channels in the box. Now I'm not gonna digress too much because it's a long tag and I might be answering the prompts here, but I want to start out with my channel name. It's a bit of a misnomer in the fact that the classics part. I didn't make up that name 7 years ago because I'm an expert in classics. In fact, I kind of tagged on the classics part at the end because I wanted to read more classics. Now, don't get me wrong, I used to be more than a bit of a book snob, and I still might be. Growing up, I read a lot of Stephen King, crime fiction, Carlos Castaneda books, Mad Magazine, but around junior high, I started getting into more serious books. And in high school, I had the same English teacher for 4 years, culminating in honors English. But in undergrad school at Kent State, I was a theater major. So I read a lot of plays. I was reading like Waiting for Godot in junior high and that. We read Shakespeare all through high school, culminating in Hamlet. But I was a theater major at Kent State, and I was a writer. I wrote a lot of plays and scripts, and attempted to. And I was into philosophy. I was a double major. So I started getting snobbish because I liked Shakespeare a lot. And I was an actor too in high school. So I went into theater to make friends, and I like to write and I like to read. So, got into a lot of Shakespeare at Kent. And I've been reading Joyce. That was like my little niche, since 1984. My grandmother, well, before that, obviously, because she bought me my copy of Ulysses in 1984. And I had to be reading Joyce before that. I can't remember distinctly what, probably short stories, but let's get to the prompts. What's your definition of book snobbery? Same as everybody else's. 2, is there a genre or type of book that you wouldn't consider reading? No, I read everything. 3, does erotica count as literature? Indeed. 5, have you ever bragged about reading a classic in order to sound smart? Probably, 6, do audiobooks count as reading? What about comic books or graphic novels? Yeah, of course. I have some graphic novels up there. Crime and Punishment. Among others, I have Mouse 1 and 2, and I have a James Joyce biography graphic novel. But I listen to a lot of audiobooks. My modus operandi is to read it along with classic books while I'm listening to them as well. I say that a lot. In fact, I say I need all the help I can get. Currently reading The Brothers Karamazov, my second read of that, and also listening to the audio from Audible. 7, have you ever looked down at someone for reading a popular fluff book, a book with little substance, for it. For example, a self-help book or a celebrity memoir. You mean like this? Or I don't have any self-help books currently, but I'm a big fan of Dr. Wayne Dyer, and I've read all his books, and I'm into New Age and all that woo-hoo and that for sure. So I don't look down on anybody for reading. I have a story I want to tell, um, and I'll tell it here briefly. I was a English teacher in grad school, like everybody else who goes in. I was creative writing. I was in poetry, so I read a lot of poetry, wrote a lot of poetry. Um, I was really ignorant about, especially Victorian literature. Now, I'd read Huckleberry Finn is one of my favorite American novels I read as a kid, and that I've read it like 4 or 5 times now. But I was also a teacher of English in prison once in Arizona, and somebody told me I can't read. What? I can't read. I said, "Oh man, that's no problem. Come here." And I went to the teacher's desk, and when she kept reading glasses in her bottom drawer. So I go, "Hey man, we got like about 3 or 4 of these." And she goes, "No, you don't. I can't read. I can't effing. Oh, you mean you can't?" So we had old computers and old programs that teach you grade schoolers how to read, and I started to help them how to read. And even after that, I volunteered for a literacy program in Phoenix, and I taught older people how to read. The illiteracy is it's an unvoiced problem in America. It really, really is. And it makes me want to volunteer again to do, as much as I can to. I don't care if people are reading Ulysses or if they're reading comic books or Sidney Sheldon. I've read all of Sidney Sheldon. At least they're reading. Okay, get off my soapbox now. 8, have you ever been the recipient of someone else's snobbery? Well, yeah, on BookTube. I can mention this because he's not in my radar anymore, or he's not around my group of people, my corner of BookTube, but he wrote a few books. And one of his books, he'll tell you all about them too. I love a writer who has to explain himself. Nothing more I love than that. And so he got a book out, and I don't think it was self-published. I think it was, legitimate. Wasn't Vanity Press or anything. And oh man, I don't know. I think I said I liked it the first time when Beckett wrote Malloy. I don't know. So it just seems snobbish to me. Maybe I'll cut this part out. 9, would you ever be friends with a snob? Maybe you already are. Probably. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I was friends with somebody who didn't read at all. And that was, ew. I won't do that again. And I mean romantically. I mean, I can be friends with anybody. That'd be snobbish, wouldn't it? To be, but romantic partner, no. I can't be a partner with somebody who's not politically inclined like I am either. What does it have to do with books, Alan? I don't know. 10, are people who don't read less sophisticated than people who do? Yes. 11, measure yourself based on your answers. Do I qualify as a book snob? I think I do. I think all in all, if I add up the total, and minus 4 for the bell curve, I can. So tag some people. Everybody's been tagged in this, so I'll leave with this. In August, it's Garb August, and I didn't participate in Garb August for the past few years. I might this year because my buddy Greg has been kind of talking. I gotta like Sidney Sheldon. I like him, and I could read like maybe Rockstar by Jackie Collins or some others, and I was in garbology. Yeah, I was in this book, not for a story, for a drawing, but so read garbage, read Ulysses, just read. It's fundamental. So I've been traveling for decades. All right, like, subscribe, make a comment. I'll probably reply back to you.